Good day, class. Welcome to Syllabus Review for General Psychology for the Fall 2021 semester. I'm your instructor, Dr. Anthony Hubert. This is my location information. Again, this course is Psych 210, Section D2, General Psychology. My office location is Butler Building, 241A. My office hours are 2 to 4 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the office, and on Mondays and Wednesdays via Zoom. This class is totally dedicated online. My phone number is 672-2611, and my email address is located there. Now, I want to make sure, as I reviewed the syllabus, that we went over some key information. I want to remind everybody that we still need to be very cautious when we engage with others to make sure that we remain safe during this time of COVID-19 and the variants. Please read this at your leisure to make sure that you're following all the necessary protocols. Course description. This course is an introduction to the study of psychology as a science and the application of the scientific method and the understanding of behavior, with emphasis on such behavioral phenomena as learning, motivation, emotions, memory and problem solving, personality and development, behavior disorders, and psychotherapy. Some other key information on the syllabus. For individuals who are having some difficulty, you may seek out disabled student services. And again, if you're having any particular issue with anyone on campus, our Title IX supervisor is there to help you, particularly when it deals with sexual misconduct. Please review the information in the syllabus for further details. The required textbook is Myers, 2019, Exploring Psychology, the 11th edition. We have a picture of it there. Students are expected to own or have access to a copy of the required textbook and are required to read all assigned readings by the dates identified on the course schedule. Additional readings and activities required for the course will be made available on Canvas. Student learning outcomes. Let's go over a few of them. Identify the major psychological principles, subfields of psychology, and approaches to understanding human behavior. Recognize and explain the basic scientific methods used in psychology. Summarize how individuals are influenced by culture and the presence of others. Recognize basic American Psychological Association publication manual formatting, guidelines, and their rationale. Demonstrate writing skills related to the identification, discussion, and analysis of theory and scientific findings in psychology, and identify the causes of maladaptive behavior and the therapeutic approaches to changing behavior. Again, read the student learning outcomes more thoroughly in your syllabus. How do we master these student learning outcomes? There are suggestions listed in the syllabus. Read and take notes on the identified chapters of the textbook, associated supplemental lecture notes, and any supplemental reading material. View and take notes on identified videos. Gather and organize relevant information to utilize for understanding material. Create a summary of key points document to aid in studying for chapter quizzes and module or unit tests. Gather and organize relevant information for the completion of course essay assignments. Complete discussion forums and other Canvas-related assignments. Communicate with fellow students on identified topics via discussion forums. Study for quizzes and tests. And of course, ask questions. Course components. There are 5 unit exams in which you get 1 attempt for each exam. That will be weighted for 30% for the final grade. We have numerous quiz homework assignments. These homework assignments, you can save and resume them later. That'll be 25% of your final grade. And then we have other participation in other activities, including the mandatory core assessment. All students enrolled in Psych 210, General Psychology, are required to complete the Journal Mandatory Core Assessment. Additional information will be provided during the semester from Ms. Parks. The General Psychology Mandatory Core Assessment will be available starting Friday, November 26th this semester, running all the way until December 4th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. No late submissions will be allowed. So along with participation in other activities, this mandatory core assessment will account for 15% of your final grade. And then we have item number 4, Psychology News Current Event Paper and the annotated bibliography. Again, it may sound a little bit concerning to you now. Please don't worry. I'll walk you through it throughout the semester. So the Psychology News Current Event is simply the idea of looking for psychology news in everyday life from either the radio or television or in some sort of news source. And we'll talk about that as we go. And then we have annotated bibliography. The annotated bibliography is something I wanted to do as opposed to a paper, a more official paper this term. What it is basically for you to go and look at peer-reviewed sources, and I'll walk you through how to do that. Get peer-reviewed sources, probably 4 to 5 of them, and then be able to annotate the citation of those particular sources. Again, those two will account 15% of your grade as well. And then we have the comprehensive final exam, which will cover all the materials that we've covered in this particular semester course, and that'll be 15% as well. So those are the basic course components for this semester. Discussion forums. We'll have several discussion forums during this semester. A couple of things by way of instructions and guidelines I want to talk with you about real quickly here. Posts should be spread over several days, not all in one day. You should make at least 4 posts, 1 original post, which I'll pay very close attention to, and 3 responses to classmates' posts. Posts should be more than great post or good job. Posts should be complete ideas and thoughts. So when you're responding to others, sort of prove or indicate that you've really thought about what they said and you're trying to engage them in a conversation about you giving feedback to whatever comments they made. And 4, be sure to address the questions asked and or follow the instructions provided. So there may be something very detailed I'm asking for in this particular discussion forum. Make sure you covered that in your original post. And the way most discussion forums are designed here in my courses, you will not be able to see the responses of others until you do your original post yourself. I also provide in the syllabus a really rough rubric, a guideline to see what I'm looking for as I'm grading the particular assignment. And it's located here. You can see more details about it in the syllabus. This is a current event paper rubric. Okay, we'll talk more about that a little bit later as well. The topic, is it approved by me or is it from a reliable source? Properly formatted cover page, followed required paper organization or certain sequence, properly formatted citations and references. One of the things that we want to do for this particular assignment is to get you used to trying to paraphrase others, provide citations and references where applicable for your writing and things of that nature. Paper free of spelling or grammatical errors, adequately introduced article or current event source, successfully summarized article or current event source, and correctly related content of the article to current event source to appropriate psychological theory or principles. And we'll talk more about that as we go through the semester. And then this is the rubric that we have for the annotated bibliography rubric. So, additional resources are online for both of these assignments, Psychology in the News Current Event and the annotated bibliography. We'll have more about that later. I'll probably even give you a little bit more detailed explanation of the annotated bibliography so that you have a little bit greater understanding of what I'm looking for. I already have something on your Canvas site for Psychology in the News Current Event. Now, what do I expect for you and from you? Participation and expectations. Students are required to attend classes by logging on to Canvas regularly and actively participating in all class activities. Topics for discussion will be posted regularly on the discussion board, and students are expected to contribute to the discussion of these topics. Students will also be expected to spend at least 6 hours per week engaging in academic activities outside of the Canvas classroom. These activities include reading the textbook and posted articles, study for the quizzes, researching topics for essay, paper assignments, and watching the videos posted on Canvas. Academic honesty. Academic honesty is required for student success. Acts of dishonesty should be avoided, such as acts including cheating, plagiarism, misrepresentation, fabrication of information, and assisting others in completing such acts during any portion of this course. The consequences of such can be severe. Now let's look a little bit at the assignment schedule that's provided to you in your syllabus. Again, more detailed schedule information is available on Canvas, and we'll see a little bit of that in a moment. But what we see in the first column here is a week, and we start off with Unit 1. We have some dates there, August 18 to 22nd. Then we move over to the next column. We see it says Orientation and Course Introduction. This is one of the orientation activities that we're doing right now, as I'm going to be posting this for you. And then we have, to the far right column here, Welcome and Introductions Forum that you can be participating in now, August 18 to the 22nd. So we're just orienting yourself to the course. August 23rd to 29th, we are looking at Chapter 1, Thinking Critically with Psychological Science, looking at the history and scope of psychology, research strategies, how psychologists ask and answer questions. We'll also be looking at Appendix A, Statistical Reasoning in Everyday Life, describing data and significant differences. And there's also an APA formatting handouts that we'll be focused on as well during this particular time frame. At the very far right, the assignments and activities, we have Read Chapter 1, Quiz Chapter 1 for Chapter 1 homework assignment. We also have what is the relationship between a theory and research forum that you'll be adding information to as well. Then we have August 30th to September 5th, where we have Chapter 2, The Biology of Behavior, Neural and Hormonal Systems, Tools for Discovery, Older Brain Structures and the Limbic System, the Cerebral Cortex, Genetics, Evolutionary Psychology, and Behavior. Those are going to be some of the chapter notes and key topics there. The assignment and activities, reading Chapter 2, taking the quiz on Chapter 2, and so on. We also have a discussion forum listed there as well. At the very end, we see Unit Exam 1. September 7 will be the deadline for the first exam that we'll have for this particular course, covering Chapters 1, Appendix A, and Chapter 2. So that gives you a little bit of an excerpt from the assignment listed in your syllabus. Now let's look a little bit at Canvas, the learning management system that we use here at FSU. When you log into Canvas and you select modules when you're in our particular Canvas site, you'll see the modules listed there. Up here we see course student learning outcomes and expectations and course flow. There are going to be several of those types of things there. They're not units, but they provide you additional resources that I want to make sure that you have access to. And so if they're somewhat important, like the current event paper and the annotated bibliography, they have their own resource modules as well, so they're there for your use. Then once you click modules, you go to all this module stuff, you see Unit 1, then you click on the link there. Unit 1, it has the list time for that particular module, which is August 18th to September 5th, with the test being due on September 7th. So once you click it, you'll be taken to a table, and this table gives you a little bit more detail about what is expected of you and the assignments for the particular unit for you. So let's look at this. This is the top half of the table for unit number 1. So looking at item number 1, arrow 1, it just again gives you the date or the dates of that week, August 18th to the 22nd. If we look at arrow 2, we see we have the welcome and introductions form there. And again, just underneath that particular form, I have a statement here, opportunity to get ahead. We're taking it slow as we introduce the particular information and orient you to the course. This is also an opportunity for you to go ahead and start reading ahead and getting ahead in the course as well. Number 3, we also provide lecture notes, and that's what that is there. So chapter 1, Thinking Critically with Psychological Science, there are some lecture notes, and what they are, the PDFs of the PowerPoint slides that are generally used for the course. Then we have arrow 4, and this is lecture videos. The one when you see lecture videos, these are actually lectures that I have provided before related to these particular types of topics. And so you click on those particular links, it'll open up to a page where there are going to be videos related to the material that we're discussing. So we have chapter 1 being covered with those lectures, chapter 1 through 1-1 through 1-3. We also have an Appendix A lecture, which is based on statistics. Okay. Item number 5, arrow 5, we see there's the chapter quiz 1 homework that you can click on to start working on, save it, and resume it later until you finish, and then you can submit it. Arrow 6, what is the relationship between a theory and research? This is the form. Again, we saw this also indicated on the schedule in the syllabus, but here we have the live link for it, and it provides you a little bit more information in this tabular format. 7, we have a sample final current event paper. It's not due yet by far. We have some time to work on this, but I do have some samples for you on your Canvas site, and here there's a sample final current event paper that you can start to review. And then arrow number 8, APA for academic writing. We don't have one formalized paper APA hardcore style during the semester, but I want you to get familiar with APA. That's the American Psychological Association for Academic Writing, and that's what this tool really does. It's a PDF that gives you a little bit of information about citations and references and why this stuff is important to us. Now let's look at the bottom half of this table that's on your Canvas site. So the first half looked at chapter 1 and the appendix. Now we're looking at chapter 2, the biology of behavior. So again, we have August 30th through September 5th. We have that with arrow number 1. With arrow number 2, again, we see the lecture notes, which are available to you. Again, these are just the PowerPoint slides for your presentation that are generally give you an idea how to organize your thinking as you read the material. Arrow 3, again, additional lectures. Again, these lectures are going to be on the biology of behavior. Now, I want to take the time to point out these other videos that are listed here. These videos are not lecture videos that I've created, but other sources that I've been able to locate for you that are interesting and filled with information. Most of them will be from Crash Course Psychology site on YouTube. So we have some here based on the nervous system, the chemical mind, a couple of other sources, the split brain video, as well as brain plasticity. All these are key ideas that will be covered in Chapter 2, the biology of behavior. So the ones that I have highlighted are ones I want to make sure that you get an opportunity to see. There may be additional videos there which may not be highlighted, and you should get a chance to look at those as well, but they may not be as critical to what I'm trying to communicate to you. And then we have for arrow number 5, what does split brain mean? How are they different from non-split brain people? That is a form that you'll be having a little bit later during the August 30th, September 5 time frame. Okay, and then we have arrow number 6. This is the unit exam, which again will be covering chapters 1, Appendix A, and chapter 2. And normally, as you can see on the other side of arrow 6, normally I will provide some study guide or a study video to help prep you for that particular exam. So what you can see there, a lot of information provided to you on the Canvas site by way of the details and expectations and things for you to accomplish. Now, if you have any questions, you can contact me with any questions. Again, you have my information there. Office hours 2 to 4, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and my office, and Mondays and Wednesdays via Zoom. Okay, that's it for now. Take care, people.